this package, pharmaceutical companies challenged to set up drug manufacturing factories in the state. Governor Akpabio calls for legislation to improve welfare of police officers. Women journalists advised to uphold the ethics of the profession as they celebrate Silver Jubilee. Details shortly. Good morning, this Wednesday morning. Welcome to Channel 45 News at Dawn. I am Akaninyene Upo. Following the upcoming visit of President Goodluck Jonathan and two other African heads of state for the commissioning of the Akwa Ibom International Stadium, Governor Godswill Akpabio has charged the police to work around the clock to secure the state. The governor bade his mind when the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 6, Calabar, Mr. Mark Idakwo, called at Government House Uyo. Edem Asangai was there and filed this report.
Chief Akpabio challenged authorities to maintain sanity as a policy and assured the police of his government's cooperation in maintaining safety of lives and property in the state. Chief Akpabio, who stressed the need for legislation to improve the welfare and motivate police officers, further charged the police to expose those who join the force intentionally to commit crime. He advised the police to be mindful of those they accept gifts from, so as not to be found associating with miscreants.
The first set of people that welcome you for your new postings are either sponsors of criminals or criminals themselves. So I want to push you as we continue to save the nation. When they send you a new posting, be circumspect with the people that come first.
The AIG in charge of Zone 6, Mr. Mark Idakwo, informed the governor that he was in the state to register his appreciation for the assistance the government has extended to the police in the state and Zone 6. AIG Idakwo said Governor Akpabio has stabilized the state and therefore made policing Akwa Ibom easy. Mr. Idakwo further informed the governor that the Inspector General of Police will personally commission the 30 Hilux vehicles donated by the Akwa Ibom state government to the police force.
There is no way one will write the history of the police without mentioning the action level. I've done a lot making the work of the police.
Asai reporting.
Governor Godswill Akpabio has called on pharmaceutical companies to set up drug manufacturing factories in the state, noting that Akwa Ibom has the right ambience for such investments. The governor made the call when he received the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Mr. Lumide Akintayo, and delegates to the 87th annual conference of the society at the Government House Uyo. Again, Edem Asangai was there.
Governor Akpabio cited security, peace, good road network, hotels, large customer base, in addition to export potentials via the Akwa Ibom International Airport and the upcoming Bakar Deep Sea Port as part of the state's endowments. Chief Akpabio, while urging pharmacists and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria to do more for the nation, called on the hierarchy of the society to set up a monitoring committee that will ensure members' compliance with ethics and standards in order to succeed. While urging the members to serve the society with dedication and passion, the governor also urged them to emulate the state's example by creating a synergy between God and governance of the society. He congratulated the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria on their 87th anniversary. He announced the donation of a bus as well as a land for the State Council of the Society to build its secretariat.
But I know you are also investors. This is a place for you to also begin to build your factories, manufacture products. The ambience is right, there is peace. We prepare the rules for you. We have the good hotels for you to stay.
The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Mr. Olamide Akintayo, who described the society as the oldest organized professional body in Nigeria, informed the governor that they are in the state for their 87th annual conference. Mr. Kintayo praised to Governor Akpabio's competence and capability reflected in the transformation of Uyo into one of the most modern state capitals in Nigeria. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria boss said the 87th annual conference would be one of the biggest ever hosted, with more than 3,000 delegates, 150 strong delegation of exhibitors comprising local, national, and international drug and equipment manufacturing concerns, in addition to a delegation of the International Society of Pharmacists in The Hague. He pledged the Society's readiness to collaborate with the state government to actualize the laudable health programs the government has evolved for the people.
And begin to simply declare that you are indeed a shining metaphor in all those nationalistic idioms. We have at least 150 exhibitors. This is a strong delegation of both local, national, and international players, including representatives of the International Pharmaceutical Federation in The Hague.
Governor Godswill Akpabio also received those he termed icons of education who are converging on Uyo for the 27th Annual Congress of the Nigerian Academy of Education, the highest professional body in the education sector. The governor lauded the leadership of the academy for finding him worthy of honor as a fellow of the academy and described the fellowship as an honor to the state. Chief Akpabio paid tribute to the contributions of education and educators to national development, pointing out that education can be used to deepen democracy, fight insecurity and insurgency, buy into the uncommon transformation, as well as insensitization. He said education played a crucial role in the nation's ability to contain the outbreak of the Ebola virus disease. The governor also called on the Nigerian Academy of Education to explore ways of using facilities available in the state, such as the e-library, for research purposes in aid of national development.
And for us to deepen democracy, education is the answer. Even in terms of sensitization, education is the answer. Take the case of Ebola. The level of literacy in some of the West African countries also affected the ability to control the disease.
The Academy, Professor Udogie Vowi, had registered positive impressions about the renovation of schools, as well as promotion and recruitment of teachers to lead in delivery of the teaching curriculum.
We have heard about your activities in the field of education, as well as in other areas in the state. As far as education is concerned, you have done very well. Adam Asai reporting.
As women journalists continue to celebrate 25 years of their existence as a group, calls have been made for them to continue to uphold the ethics of the profession in their daily reportage of events. The calls were made during the various events put together by the National Secretariat of the Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, as the women journalists converged on Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to celebrate their Silver Jubilee in style. Odwak Ekong has the details.
The 25th anniversary of NAWOJ began with a cultural carnival at the Abeokuta Golf Club. Women journalists, including Akwa Ibom women journalists, presented various dances depicting the cultural heritage of their states. At the end of the presentations, Zone watched the followed by Bayelsa State. The according to the National President Ifeyinwa Omowole will henceforth be an annual event to keep the cultural heritage of the different states and ethnic groups of Nigeria.
We are here today to remember something. A society that forgets its culture will forget its origin. And if you don't know your origin, you cannot chart your course in life. And so, now what is using this cultural carnival to show the world that, to show Nigeria that we should go back to basics.
Including the chairman of NAWOJ, Margaret Edem, advised women journalists to continue to exhibit professionalism and commitment to the ideals of truth, objectivity, and sincerity.
For NAWOJ, everyone is doing well. You can see for yourself that we are culturally rich, we are progressives, we are brilliant women, and for us to say all work and no play make NAWOJ a dull woman.
So we are here to defend traditional. We just finished dancing from Bible State, and now is
execute state government, including of one of the most prominent and Yoruba women in pre-colonial Nigeria, and the first leader of Igba land, Madam Tinubu. Government. The Olu complex located at Ikija in Abeokuta North local government area of Ogun State. The journalists joined other teams to explore the caves of the Olumo Rock, served as a refuge for the Igba during intertribal wars in the 19th century.
Congratulations to NAWOJans. Activities to mark the Silver Jubilee of the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists NAWOJ ended with a gala hosted by the Ogun State government. Patience John, who was among the state contingent to the anniversary, completes the story.
The Silver Jubilee of NAWOJ climaxed with a gala at OK Event Center, Ibarra Housing Estate, Abeokuta, Ogun State, hosted by the Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibekunle Amoshun, and his wife, Olufonsho. The state governor acknowledged the contributions of female journalists in nation building and encouraged them not to relent in discharging their responsibilities. He explained that his administration's gender-friendly disposition has led to the appointment of women into positions of authority in Ogun State. Omowole, who welcomed NAWOJans and other guests to the event, said that the choice of Abeokuta for the 25th anniversary of NAWOJ was in recognition of its place in history as a cradle of journalism in Nigeria, where the first newspaper, Iwe Irohin, was published in 1859. The national president appreciated the founding members of NAWOJ and other leaders of the association who sacrificed their time and energy for the growth of the group.
NAWOJ was conceived by great minds in the NUG, both male and female, who saw the beauty of this day 25 years ago. They fought to achieve what you and I are benefiting from today. My special recognition goes to Mrs. Brenda Alpha, the pioneer president, all past presidents that have held forth before the mantle goes to me.
The gala featured cutting of the NAWOJ Silver Jubilee cake by national officers of NAWOJ, supported by the governor, his wife, and the former national president of NAWOJ, Moji Makunjola. The event also featured the public presentation of Evergreen, a publication of the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, which highlighted the exploits of 25 media women. The celebration was Bridging the Gender Gap, Redefining the Journalism Culture. Patience John reporting.
It's still Channel 45 News at dawn. We now take a break. We'll be right back. Stay.
My challenge to the Akwa Ibom youth today is to rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. Rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. There must be sustainability. So for me as a governor, I'm charging Akwa Ibom children. The future belongs to you. Your fathers have done their bit. Rise up and protect your future. Bring a governor that will bring industrialization. Bring a governor that will bring progress. Bring a governor that will bring development. Not the one that goes on ethnic cleavage. Not the one that goes to bring tribalism. Not the one that gangs up with elders and wants to come through the window. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our dear President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for the endorsement given to him by the National Executive Committee of our party as the sole candidate in 2015 presidential election. I want to thank the people of Nigeria for recognizing that leadership comes from God, and God gives it to whom He pleases. So I stand with my dear President so that he will succeed for my children to have Nigeria tomorrow. I thank Nigeria for supporting Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
You're welcome back. The Nigeria Union of Journalists Akwa Ibom State Council now has a functional ICT Resource Center. The ICT Resource Center, located at the NUJ Press Center Information Drive off IBB Avenue, Uyo, is to be formally inaugurated tomorrow, Thursday, November 6, 2014, by the Commissioner for Special Duties, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem. The project, coordinated by ICT experts, has a Lagos-based ICT communications firm, Sound System Global Limited, as the equipment providers. The ICT Center will operate both local area network and hotspot internet services. Speaking on the development, the state chairman of the NUJ, Elder Patrick Albert, said journalists now have a conducive place to work and called on public functionaries and philanthropists to support the State Council of NUJ in its various media programs aimed at promoting sound reportage to the public at all times. The chairman said the ICT Resource Center will also be opened to members of the public to transact relevant businesses. According to him, the ICT Resource Center will also kickstart the process of establishing a database for the proposed NUJ Media Museum, meant to chronicle the lives of media personnel from the state, predating Nigeria's independence, as well as media history since the creation of the state. The implementation of Community and Social Development Project CSDP will continue to enjoy priority by the state government as a means of transforming the rural areas in the state. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Ante Okwong, stated this when a team from the Federal Project Steering Committee of CSDP Abuja visited him in his office. The rest of the story is here presented.
The visiting team has members drawn from the Federal Ministry of Finance, Federal Budget Office, and other federal agencies, with Mr. Chukwudi Onoha as the national coordinator. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Ante Okwong, described the visit by the steering committee as the state government was facilitating the implementation of micro projects in communities through its Agency on Community and Social Development. He noted that the community development approach in CSDP has been of immense benefits to the people and lauded Governor Kwabi on his efforts to partner with the World Bank for continued development in the state. Mr. Wong urged the coordinating body for CSDP with the micro projects in the state to be armed with first-hand knowledge that will guide its policy formulation. In his remarks, the team leader and Federal Project Steering Committee of CSDP, Mr. Chukwudi Onoha, commended Governor Akpabio for fulfilling the financial contributions to attract World Bank support for the project. Mr. Onoha explained that the team was in the state to appraise Akwa Ibom State's performance within the period of project extension by the federal government and to gather inputs for implementation of the CSDP program. The acting board chairman of the Akwa Ibom State Agency for Community and Social Development, Mr. Rafael Essien, who gave the scorecard of the agency, said 323 communities spread across 17 local government areas will benefit from various categories of projects. According to Mr. Essien, so far, 43 micro-projects in education, water, health, transport and socio-economic sectors have been completed and handed over to the benefiting communities.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Comfort Ekpo, has clocked 60. The birthday party, which took place at the Shea Grace Arena in Sikarabok Avenue, Uyo, attracted the cream of the academy and other dignitaries within and outside the state. It also featured the public presentation of the maiden edition of a women-based magazine, Nme. Florence Omoto has the report.
Were scholars, top including who chaired the event. The school as a combination of beauty and expected to be associated with her achievements. He noted that Ekpo has ushered in an uncommon era of infrastructural development, enforced attitudinal discipline, increased the numerical strength of peoples, and established a group and the whole team for the diligent students. Mayen commended the initiators of the Women's Magazine for documenting and rights and challenges of women.
People turn 60. Some will turn 60 in the hospital beds. Some will turn 60 on a wheelchair. Some will never even turn 60 because they will have gone home. But to find yourself turning 60 and in good health and looking so radiant and beautiful, I think it's what people can.
Reviewing the magazine, Felicia Item described it as a metaphoric and figurative meeting point for women of backgrounds and a tool which gives women of all strata of the society the strength to succeed. With wife of the governor, Mrs. Ekaite Onoma Akpabio, for her philanthropic activities, the Vice Chancellor, University of Uyo, Mrs. Comfort Ekpo, and the inclusion of topical and feminine gender-related articles. Felicia Item described the 50-page magazine as content-rich, well and designed, and easy to read.
In Men's Magazine, one finds a meeting points where women of diverse backgrounds and professions meet to share experiences, ideas.
In a keynote address titled "The Girl Child in Nigeria, Reaching Out for Opportunities and a Better Future," Professor Nnenna Oti of the University of Technology, Owerri, described the woman as the best of God's creation, adding that issues of womanhood are a human rights and have a morality question. She enumerated challenges to include educational, financial empowerment, and health-related. Professor Nnenna Oti saluted fathers, husbands, bosses, and male colleagues who have stood alongside outstanding women the world over and called on the women folk to wake up and give helping hands to pull up other females from negative stereotypical roles.
We were made to nurture and protect life. That is our divine mandate. And so we do not take life. That's not the kind of gender equality I'm talking about. I'm talking about a gender equality that makes the world a better place for everyone.
The committee, Mrs. Rosalind Efretwe, Mrs. Sylvia Ekpo, and the Mme Magazine, Enora, in their speech, identified their motivation as women all over the world. those with the will to be like Professor Epo. The Mme Award was presented to the University of Uyo Vice Chancellor after a citation by Enobati Urwa and also to Obong Basinuayen, Mrs. Dora Ebo Nnenna Oti. Responding, Professor Epo said that she was humbled by the love showered on her. Professor Epo explained, saying that this has strengthened her to serve God and humanity better.
By this token of love, put me on a level of higher commitment to serve better.
Surrounded by friends, family members, and the management of the university, Professor Comfortable cut her diamond birthday cake. The senior inside Bible Church, Dr. Silvanus Ukafia, gave an exhortation while the Danceville Dance Group entertained and opened a poem titled The Phenomenal Woman in honor of the University Vice Chancellor. Florence Moituk.
Arrangements have reached advanced stage for the commissioning of the Akwa-Ibom International Stadium. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Nyeka Numana, disclosed this while speaking with sports editor Justice Udosoro in Uyo. Ms. Numana said already finishing touches for the match between the Super Eagles and Black Stars of Ghana have been put in place. He spoke glowingly of the stadium project and the itinerary for the commissioning of the stadium.
Chief Dr. Goshilo for his vision, for the vision of making this real, for his commitment, for his determination, for his doggedness in doing uncommon things in Akwa-Ibom State. This is truly uncommon. This is possibility made real. I am so excited as a citizen looking around this international stadium, across the globe, roundly endorsed by internationally rated organizations, NFF, that is Nigerian Football Federation, Confederation of African Football, CAF, came in here and they have endorsed this facility as being world class, one of the best, if not the best, in the entire of Africa. So what does that portend?
AKBC News captured the scene when Governor Akwabi, in line with passion for proper preparation for the Friday event, entered the stadium in the night with a retinue of government officials. Topping the list were the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Elder Sam Ikon, member representing a Sinodom State constituency, Obong Emmanuel Okwan, commissioners, Chairman of Algon, Obong Sentuen, Obong Michael Afangidi, and officials of Julius Berger. Justice would also report that the staff of the construction giant had trimmed the playing turf and demarcated the technical areas for both teams. Meanwhile, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, trained on the turf, watched by the wife of the Ghana, Kaito Norma Akpabio, who also inspected the calisthenics on display. Christians have been advised to put their trust in God. The advice was given by Evangelist Emmanuel Inyang of Church of Christ at the funeral of Chief Mbyongi Nwenekbu. Evangelist Inyang called on the people to repent of their sins so as to make heaven when they die. The funeral, which took place at Ikorodo Songupum, Abak in Abak local government, was conducted by Church of Christ No. 1, Abak.
Said that man is appointed to die once, after he will face judgment, told the people to let go their sins and to God for forgiveness while alive. According to him, anyone who dies with his sins will rot in hell.
Why should you be afraid of them? You are only afraid of them because you do not have the creator of this world and the protector of mankind in your life.
The funeral activity by the representatives of the Nigerian Prison Service, the political class, traditional rulers, youth groups, socio-cultural organizations featured condolences and testimonies by groups and individuals, including the state government, the church, and the family.
At a glance, we used to set aside every official protocol for the sake of young ones in the office by adopting the principles of let's start from the known to the unknown.
Even though a great teacher and disciplinarian has passed away at the time, his sweet word of wisdom could have been of paramount value to the new generation.
A biography of the octogenarian shows that the deceased had worked as a teacher, served as a chief superintendent of prisons before his voluntary retirement in 2006. The late Chief Nyong Inwenekbo was said to have been a co-founder of Esobu Fonobi Ukpom and a member of Ukpom Traditional Rulers Council.
Chief Nyong Inwenekbo was a good mixer who was always finding time out of his busy schedule to participate in community activities.
By one of his children, Prince Ifyok Inwenekbo, described his father as an hard-working, intelligent and disciplined father who inculcated the fear of God in his children. Prince Ifyok thanked God for giving his father the grace to live to the ripe age of 80 years.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, he bowed out.
Chief Nyong Inwenekbo, who died at 80 years, is survived by wives, children, grandchildren, in-laws, and other relatives. His remains were later buried in his compound. Patience John reported.
Are you just tuning in? It's Channel 45 News at dawn, but don't worry, you can still catch us on the net by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at akbc45uyo or on Facebook at akbc channel 45. Now to end the news, a look at the top stories. Pharmaceutical companies have been challenged to set up drug manufacturing factories in the state. Governor Godswill Akpabio made the call when the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Mr. Olumide Akintayo, visited Government House Uyo. We also brought you a report that Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, has celebrated 25 years of its existence. That's our package this Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for watching. May your day be good. Good morning.